Sponsored by Vahid Connected. Take the money, available on the Google Play Store. Just download it.
Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to your next Unity tutorial where we're going to program our menu title here, get some things going. But the two concepts that we're going to work with on our menu programming is something called array and array cast hit. Now, just to kind of help break down the process, think of touching the screen if we're using iPad or iPhone. We're giving the phone some input. Basically what we're doing is we're going to shoot a ray into the position of wherever we touch, or if we're using a computer game, wherever we click on the screen. We're going to shoot a ray into the computer and we're going to see if it hit any game objects or if it hit something within our scene. Now if it hits something, it's going to be a raycast hit because that ray came in contact with something. And then we can program from there. So we can say, did this ray hit the brick breaker object? If it did, open up the brick breaker scene. If the ray hit the temple run, open up that temple run scene. And also if it didn't hit anything, we aren't going to do anything. So those are the two concepts we're going to work with in the programming side, is array and array cast hit. The other thing that's a little bit different is we've only added scripts to actual game objects, right? Stuff that we can see. So what we'd have to do is add a script to the brick breaker object here and also the temple run object here. And that would be two different scripts. So what we're going to do instead is create an invisible game object that runs this whole menu screen, add some general scripts to it, and then we can check for both of these events if they happened. Alright, so let's go up to our game object here, create an empty, and that just means it's invisible, nothing has been attached to it, and we're going to relabel this game object menu controller. Alright, and we're also going to create a new script, Javascript, and we're just going to label this as menu. So let's double click this guy and open into mono develop here, and let's set up our variables. So we're going to create some private variables, meaning that the variables are only going to apply to this script itself. And we're going to say var for a variable, and we're going to label this variable as ray. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a colon, and then we're going to type capital R as ray there. So all we're doing is we're creating a new variable and we're giving it the name ray. Now basically what's saying here with this colon ray is Unity already has an object called array. Like, it has a lot of cool functions, like we can get the user input, turn that into array, we can check if that ray is hitting stuff. It has all this sweet stuff, and that type of object is called a ray object, or they already have a class defined as ray, and we're just adding those functionalities to this object that we just gave a name to, which is ray. So all we're doing is we're giving a name to the variable and we're giving it a type. Like, my name is Travis and I'm type human here, for example, if there is a human class already defined. So we're just saying this is going to be array. I don't know. I don't know if I should explain all the programming concepts within this tutorial series because it might go too slow, but let's just say for our next variable this is going to be hit, and there's also another class within Unity called raycast hit. So that's all we're doing there, and we've set up our two variables. Now within our update method we want to check for the user input. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an if statement and check if the mouse is down, if the mouse has been clicked at all. And we do that through the input class. So we're going to put input and we're going to say get mouse button down. And this is going to take some parameters within it here. It can be either 0, 1, or 2. 0 is going to be if the left button of the mouse was clicked. 1 will be the right button of the mouse, and 2 would be the middle button. So we're going to do standard left click, so 0 position there, and we're going to say if that's true, if the person has actually hit the left button of the mouse and it's been clicked, we're going to do whatever is within this if statement. The first thing that we're going to do is set up our ray, because right now it doesn't really know what's up. It knows it's of the type ray, but we haven't really defined it. So we're going to say ray equals camera dot, camera. We're going to say main, which is the main camera, and we're going to say dot screen 2-point ray. And so all this is doing is converting a point on the screen from the camera's perspective into a ray type object. And then we have to tell it what kind of mouse position or what kind of screen point we want to convert into a ray value. So again, we're going to refer to the input dot get, or I'm sorry, mouse position. Alright, so hopefully that made sense. All we're doing is we're getting the mouse position where the button has been clicked, because we know it's been clicked within this if statement here. The left button has been clicked, and we're getting that position, and we're turning that screen point into an array value, so we can actually use some of the array methods within this type of array. And then after we've set up our array value, we're going to check if that array has hit anything. So we're going to say if physics, referring to the physics class, array cast, and we're just going to put in the variable array that we just set up, and we're also going to put in the variable hit. So all this is doing here is checking if our array made a hit, essentially, with a game object. And then we're going to say another if statement if there was a hit. If that was true, we're going to go into the next if statement. If hit dot transform, which again is kind of the position of the hit, and we're going to say dot get the name of the object it essentially hit. And we're going to say if that's equal to, and that's a double equal sign, and then we're going to give it a string name, which is going to be our two objects here, brick breaker or temple run. It's actually brick breaker option or temple run option here. So we're going to say if it was brick breaker option. So all we're saying is if that transform hit name is actually brick breaker option, then we're going to do with whatever is within this if statement. And then we're just going to copy and paste this for if it hit the temple run, and we're going to change this value to be temple run option. And now we know that we've either hit the temple run option game object or the brick breaker option game object. And lastly, all we have to do is change the scene that we're currently in. So we're going to refer to the application dot load scene, or I'm sorry, load level, and then within here we just have to load the level we want to load. So we could say temple run scene, or actually I don't think we label it as scene. Let's check. Nope, just temple run. And now it'll load up that option. So let's save everything. Let's go back into Unity, and we're going to go down here and check if we have any errors. We actually do on line 25. It looks like it found something, so that's not cool. Let's go back to line 25 in our code and see if, and it said it found this unexpected extra bracket, and now looking over it, I see that I didn't put my open bracket here, so it thought that we had an extra bracket down here. So now when we save this, go back into Unity, looks like we got rid of all of our errors, and let's just save our project, and we will catch up in the next tutorial where we're actually going to test this out. So let's just save the scene, and I'll catch you guys then. Have a good one.